Can you believe it? The best. All right. How many of you guys want to have passive income, not have to do anything with real estate? Gotta raise all your hand, I think, right? We don't want to do this forever, right? So we have an incredible speaker here. He's gonna go through that building wealth beyond real estate sales. So welcome, Gaurav.
Thank you.
Is your mic on?
I'm not gonna keep you guys. I don't want to keep anybody here longer than I would want to stay myself. I'm going to keep it a little bit faster. I know it's the last one for the day. It's a very good way of saying saving the best for last is like get the heck out of here fast. So, oh yeah, thank you. Oh, it's magic. You told me to switch it on and you read yourself from there. I would like to take a memory, if I can get as many of us on this. I think so. 1, 2. Got it. Okay. All right. So a little bit about myself. I'm Gaurav Gambhir. I'm from Philadelphia. I love the story that Jemima. Okay, Jemima. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm an immigrant to myself, to the country. Take pride coming here in 1997, much before that she talked about. And then the idea was, you know, to make $100,000 a year was my lifelong goal. If I could make $100,000 a year, I would be fulfilled in my career and my life. Everything that I worked hard for my family would be great. And that goal came faster than I thought, and then I thought, well, now what? 9/11 happened. I was a computer science major, an engineer, typical Indian guy that you're going to be a doctor, an engineer. So I was an engineer, and 9/11 came by, and I lost my job, and now I had to figure something out. Wanted to figure what to do. I fell into real estate, and that's where my journey started. As I was working into real estate, I realized selling homes was not my passion. Working with people is what I thoroughly enjoyed. Numbers came naturally to me, and as an engineer, I was constantly looking to optimize and make things better. So how do I bring all this together in my career for my journey? And ideally, how do I make money? I did not know anyone in real estate. My uncle didn't own a coffee shop. My friends didn't go to college together with me that were in this country, and they had other businesses that I could use, or my family didn't have a shore house that I could go in the summertime for the last 20 years. So how do I get started? I thought if everybody wants to go through the front door of marketing and postcards and mailers, I'm going to go through the back door. So I'm not going to compete with everybody the way that everybody else was competing. I'm going to go through the back door. And how do I get into the back door? Well, how do I get to a seller or a buyer that wants to call me before I call them, while I don't have the same amount of experience with all the people that are on the panel? What do they have that they would like help with? They all want help to sell the place, but what if they decide not to sell? Well, then they have a lot of opportunities for investments. What if they have an investment property? Well, if they have an investment property, they need help with repairs and maintenance. They need help with renting. They need help with property management. So I started a property management company. I started a property management company way before I sold a lot more homes in my career. And that was my way of a lead generation. So I went from the back door, started reaching out to people and saying, well, I can help you with property management. None of the other agents wants to do it, but I'll do it. They don't want to lease the property, I will do it. I will help you with the vendors. I'll help you with other opportunities. So my journey started, and that also led into building a bigger business. So I'm going to talk to you about a little bit more on how that led into my mind of how do I now create wealth like these investors had? Because while you're managing assets for them, as realtors, we are helping build wealth for our clients. Well, how do we get a piece of that pie for ourselves? So I started thinking, well, how do I create wealth? And I started learning a lot more on how to do it. I had a property management company. So we started with one unit with one client. I sold him a condo, and I said, I can also help you manage it. Then one led to 5. Then that another client had a 5-unit portfolio. So I started that about 12 years ago. And today, we have a property management company. We manage about 4,500 units in 6 states. Outside of that, started leading into the retail business. So I call the sales business a retail business. And that has grown from one agent like me who was doing rentals to about 45 agents, and we do about over $300 million in volume. But I still do about 1,500 leases a year. I, as in at my team. 1,500 people that are leasing, guess what, who are they going to be? First-time home buyers. So that constantly leads into the cycle of lead generation and getting them into the business. And coincidentally for me, our business is in Philadelphia and suburbs, and Philadelphia is a very big eds and meds. So tons of universities, tons of hospitals. So there's a constant transition of people coming into the city who are leasing, and the ones that stay are going to end up buying. So there's a constant flow of coming in as well. So why am I telling you all this thing is how my brain started working, and I want to get into the real nugget of what does that mean. I'm going to go a little faster, but I think my story is going to help you understand of how to relate to that. All right, so I think Jeanette was talking about a few of the key words that I also like to use in my presentation is, you have a job and not a business. If the business stops, God forbid somebody gets hurt, you can't show homes. If you go on a vacation and you don't have leverage, you can't sell homes. When you step out of the day-to-day, but you can't because you're constantly stuck, like she was talking about, underneath the table, or if you go on the beach and you constantly have to get connected, in theory, we have a job. Because the minute we stop working, the business doesn't make us money unless we have leverage. And that's why I think a lot of people start to create a team, or agents will join a team, or agents will get third-party leverage for themselves. All valid ways of creating a business. When the business continues because people want your systems and processes and your brand instead of you as an individual, then you have a real business of value. And you can think of passive income from that business because now people don't need you. Or you invest in a business from the beginning where your active involvement is not required. Ken is buying a 6-unit multifamily apartment building. He's looking for $400,000 in investment. He looks around, asks a few friends, I invest $100,000, I get a return on the money. I'm a passive investor. Or you invest in a business that's like, hey, you want to start getting into real estate business. I would like to help you go acquire one, like how Jenna was talking about, or maybe I'll help you get established and give you some lead flow, and then I'm out. It's very difficult to get in those opportunities, but they exist. So what if your money could work for you when you're sleeping? I talked about my personal story initially, and how does active income look like long term? So this is a good graph. So the green, I'll help you simplify it. The green is, this dotted line is what when somebody has a job. Obviously, you can think of every year I'm going to get an increase, but it's basically straight. I know what I'm going to make on December 31st, on January 1 of that year, if I don't screw up, or I fly under the radar. I'm going to get paid my salary. When our career starts, most of us had a journey like this. We started slow, we worked very hard, we put in a lot of time, and our money slowly started growing. Passive income has the other effect. We start slow, and then the hockey curve kicks in. So it takes a while, but it does have a major impact. Because what happens today when we're starting a career, whenever it is, 10, 15, 20 years from now, everybody wants to take a step back. I don't want to work as hard. I don't want to have my weekends gone. I want to spend my time with the family. Or I lost time with the family. How do I get it back? There's all the other reasons why we feel we should be doing more as we go get more successful. It does increase, but at one point, there will be a time when if you can get your passive income increase more than your service income is the one when you're working, that's magic. And that's what I strive for. My whole career today is built on everything I do. How fast and how much more of passive income can I create? Out of 4,500 units that our company manages, my cell phone doesn't exist on the website. It did before. I did have an emergency phone call on Saturday nights at 4 o'clock when my water was leaking in a tenant's house. But the goal was, how do I get out of it? So what is passive income? Passive income is money earned with minimal effort or any active involvement. Common sources of passive income will include earnings from investments, rental properties, dividends, interest, fixed deposits, bonds, where you have no interaction. You buy a stock, it increases, you have nothing to do with it. You put money in a fixed deposit, you have nothing to do with it. Many people think that passive income is about getting something for nothing. That is not true. The only difference is you put in a lot of effort initially as compared to during the process. Make sense? You have to put in the work at some point. There's no free lunch. You have to put in the time. So you just do the work up front, not during your income. The more income sources you have, the less impact or less impacted you will be if one of those income streams dries up. She talked about, I'm doing both sides. I think many of us will be okay with doing buyer side and seller side. I was doing rentals. I was doing property management. I'll go paint a house to make money initially because I didn't have any money. I would do anything to make money was my initial goal. Then the question was like, well, if the market changes real estate, if real estate went down, guess what happened to my property management business? Skyrocketed. Because people couldn't sell or didn't want to sell. Who wants to sell a 30-year fixed property at 3%? When rents were going up, my mortgage is the same, I can make more money, why would I sell? So property management went up. When the rents went up, our rental business went up. Now all those people who have been renting, we have the database, we are in contact with them. So we have to constantly start thinking about how do I diversify myself? So start focusing on your earned income, the continued income you can count on, which is our retail business. Can't get rid of a retail business, that's what gives us money. But what do you do after that? And reinvesting in it is what's going to define how much passive income you can create. So put some earned income into investments that will eventually yield you a capital gains. Stocks, bonds, investment properties, something. But you need a cash flow from our business today to be able to make money then. Work on building more and more passive income streams. So ask yourself, how many streams of income do you have today? So take a moment when you go home and write down on a piece of paper, how many streams of income do I have? And if you don't have any besides the retail sales, ask yourself, why not? Everybody else is making money in industry. Why are we not making that the same opportunity for us? Well, why do I have to have passive income? I don't need passive income. I'll make way more by selling a lot more homes. A lot of luxury agents in this room, a lot of other agents. I'm not a luxury agent. I have a luxury team, but my average price in my market is $370,000. We just sell a lot of them. But I can make money from there as well. Then why do I need passive income? So being transparent, these are all my passive income streams that exist for me personally. So I sat down for this presentation and I said, well, let me think about what do I have. So I have a real estate investment. I buy real estate investment properties. I have multiple of them. I invest in stocks. I have some safe bonds. I have fixed deposits. I own a property management company. I have a real estate team. I have a title company. I have a technology company investment. There's somebody who's building a software for a real estate company. I met them and I invested in them. I work with partners to flip homes. We buy and invest and sell them. I own an insurance brokerage company. Because we own an insurance company, we are helping other people start insurance companies. So that creates opportunity for us. I have syndications, like I gave an example, what if somebody's buying an investment property. I do hard money lending. I own a KW franchise. I have a commercial real estate company. I own a media and a marketing company. I don't work in any one of them. It's just opportunities. It's every single time I was purposely thinking of, where can I find an opportunity that I can be part of, where I don't have to spend time, I can make money from my retail team, and invest in you, make it safer, so I can make more money and do this more, and diversify. You can go further, repairs and maintenance company, transaction management, lending as equity owners, I can explain that, a mortgage company partnership, parking spots, they're easy, you buy a spot, rent it out, there's no maintenance, storage units, referral income, profit share, all those things. So here's some examples of what you should be thinking about. So I'll give you another example. If you had an investor and they came to you and said, I would like to buy an investment property. You ask them, what is your investment goal? They'll say, I want to make 5, 7, 10% on my money. Is that fair? If you want to buy investment property today and I could give you 10% on your money or 7% on your money, would you buy a property? Yeah, probably. So I'll give you an example. To make a 7% return on the money, I need to make $20,000, pay taxes on it, after-tax money left with 14.5, make 7%, and will give me $1,000 annually. It could probably cover my cell phone payment. After I make $20,000, I have to make $100,000 to make $5,000 passively, and I have to make $370,000 to make $20,000 passive income a year. $370,000 before I can make $20,000 passively. But if you go back to some of these companies, they'll make you way more. A simple example would be, in our real estate transaction, there is a mortgage, a title, an insurance, transaction management, media, marketing, home warranty, concierge, repair and maintenance, property management. All those things are happening in front of us. Where am I making the money? Who are my partners? That's how I started thinking, saying, if I can help a client from an end-to-end solution and make money in between, how does the world look like? So, why does passive income matters? You get a financial independence, a freedom from the 9-to-5 grind. In our business, it's a 24/7. Like I always joke around, it's a 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. I can't work more than that. A time to pursue your passions. How passive income opens doors to creativity. I have more time and I have leverage. I can take risks and be able to go and invest in things that I enjoy. Computer science engineer wanted to go invest in technology companies. The potential of passive income for a richer and a freer life. The common misconceptions. It's too complicated. I don't understand it. Numbers are not good for me. That's a big myth. It's very simple. And the other one, it requires a lot of money. For me to buy into an insurance company, a title company, mortgage company, hard money lending, it takes too much money. Not true. If I needed $1 million to invest in something, and you had $1,000 to invest, you will own 0.1% of the company. So what? We buy stocks in Apple. I probably own 0.000000001%. I'm okay with that, as long as I get the return on my money accordingly, right? So you don't need $370,000 to create passive income. You can start with $1,000. But you have to start thinking and asking yourself the same questions. So I want to give you an example today. It's something I started with about 15 years ago, simple math. I think I discussed it about a year ago here, and I want to put it on paper again and talk to you about it. So if I was looking for an investment property today for $400,000, and I had 25% down payment available, so I'll put $100,000 down. Let's not get into the nitty-gritty of closing costs and recording fees. It's simple math. $400,000, $100,000, and I borrow $300,000 from a bank for a 30-year fixed loan. I have a rental. It's an investment property, so I have a rental for $2,800. It is the taxes of $400 a month, let's say $5,000 a year. Insurance is about $2,400 a year, so $200 a month. I borrow that money at 6.5%. My payment is $1,860. I'm going to add some miscellaneous of $140 a month, $2,000 a year, for some repairs and vacancy and something else that may come up. I'm left with $200 a month. I invested $100,000, and I'm making $200 a month. Is that a good investment?
Yes.
What if I prove you wrong?
If you have appreciation.
No appreciation.
Accelerated. Somebody else is paying down your debt.
If I asked you, Seth, today, give me $100,000, I will give you $10,000 a year, guaranteed for 30 years. Would you do it?
I mean, it'd be good in the first few years, and then it would not.
So let's take the complexity away. $100,000, just the math. $10,000 a year every year for 30 years. Right? The only caveat is, I'll pay you after 30 years. No?
Because I want that 10,000 to reinvest.
I'll pay you every 3 years. 5 years? Maybe? 7 years? 10 years? You get the point? Right? Okay. So I'm going to prove it you. Okay. One thing is guaranteed. In 30 years, if I have the place rented, my loan is paid off. Fair? Somebody paid $300,000 off my loan. I invested $400,000. I bought a property for $400,000. I paid $100,000 and I borrowed $300,000. No appreciation. My property is now paid off. What is it worth? $400,000? Right? Forget the appreciation. Somebody paid off $300,000 from me in 30 years. What is 300,000 divided by 30? 10,000. So the people always think of cash on cash. In real estate, we should be thinking of ROI. What's my return on investment? My cash on cash was $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. I'm going a little bit faster on math. $2,400 on 100,000 is 2.4%. If I told you you'll make 2.4% on your money, you'll say, no, thank you. If I told you I'll give you 10% on your money, you'll say, I'll consider that. But now, Seth, you don't have to give the money to me. You're in control. If it appreciated, take some more money out. Principal reduction, take a loan. But you also have a 2.4% cash on cash. Now your return is 12.4%. There is something that we forget in our lives because we are so stuck on today. I need to make cash today. Wealth is built generationally or in years. You don't build wealth today. You make cash today to build wealth for tomorrow. So, using this example, there's something unique that we all have that nobody else has in this country is a real estate license. A real estate license allows investors to do some key components, and I'll give you two, and I'll explain to you in simple terms. Cost segregation and accelerated depreciation. An investment property, residential, is considered to be depreciated in 27 and a half years. Not the land, just the property. The government tells that in 27 and a half years, we think your property is worth zero. So I can depreciate that much, right? So forget the 10,000 principal reduction. I'm also getting $10,000 every year in depreciation, which if I made $100,000 cash in real estate, this money is directly reducing my income. So if I made $100,000, now I only pay taxes on $90,000. Somebody who's not doing full-time real estate is not allowed to do that. We, as real estate agents, are allowed to do that. On top of that, if you do cost segregation, it basically means if my HVAC is only worth for 10 years lifetime, why am I depreciating in 27 and a half years? You can take all the stuff. Cabinets don't last 27 and a half years. Painting, flooring, light fixtures, plumbing, they don't last 27 and a half years. So there's a ways you can do cost segregation and you can take that money faster. So now you could be reducing $20,000. If you're on a 40% tax bracket, you save another $8,000 in taxes. It all adds up. So now if my property is paid off, now I create passive income. So now the goal is, how many can I buy and how shorter term can I refinance, or actually, how short of term of a loan can I get, 15 years, 20 years? So if I started doing this at 25, my first property just got paid off. My first condo, $250,000, I put 5% down. Somebody paid it off, and I moved out 2 years later, I bought a bigger place. Somebody just paid it off. but I had refinanced at the time of a lower interest rate for 15 years. But the other benefits are huge. So I think there's only 1 or 2 slides left. I'm sorry if I'm going a little longer. Embracing the long-term vision. Shift your mindset to focus on the future and believe in your future. Please do not have the vision. People do not have the vision 10, 20 years from now. They all think of today. My goal today is to make you think, how does it look like in the future? Power of what passive income can do for you, and what mindset do you need to create passive income? Creating passive income is not just about being good with money, but also building good relationships. I use Seth's name, I use Kenny's name. You don't know who else is going to create opportunity for me. Our insurance company was brought in because my insurance agent said, I'm looking for starting my own business. You want to invest with me? Sure. I own a franchise of Keller Williams. I have so many agents. Maybe I can start working with you. I have a large team. We do so many rentals in property management. Maybe you can start an insurance company. I didn't have the vision. He brought it to me. You don't always have to think of creating the opportunity yourself. Last slide. Building your first stream. Identify your interests. What do you like? Which place do you like? Do you like investing in Delaware, Philadelphia, California, Florida? I like single family, multifamily. I want to rehab it. I want to be hands-on. I want to invest with somebody. Whatever thing, you need to find and identify what your comfort level is. Research and educate yourself first. The worst investment you can make is going blindsided into something. Start small. Get comfortable. Like he said, if you pay me the first 3 years, then you can get more money from me. Take lower risks. And how do you start that action plan? Set clear financial goals. If I find something for 7 or 8 or 10%, I'll be willing to invest in it. What is your investment goal? I'm going to leave the money in the bank at 5%. Identify those goals. Explore all potential passive income streams. Look around you. Ask people what else do they have. You'll be amazed at how much people are making money when they're sleeping. And finally, take the first step, no matter how small it is. You have to take the first step. So I hope I was able to make you think a little bit, and that was my goal, and I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. That was incredible. So please make sure that you have any questions with any of the speaker and panelists. They'll be here for happy hours. I just want to quickly go. I just want to thank you for everyone coming today. I hope you guys got a lot of amazing nuggets. I won't ask you guys what your aha is because we run over a little bit of time. So just hopefully you guys get to take some of those strategies and things that you learned today. Please at least make sure you kind of know your top 3 because you can't do everything that you heard today. So just pick your top 3 and just implement them into your business. So please do follow us at Lux Life Mastermind. And also, all the content from today, we'll make sure we'll slowly download it onto the YouTube channel, so you can also watch it, share it, wherever you want. Okay, so here we go. So please scan this QR code.